Hello again everyone and welcome back to another installment of Poke Fodder. Today I want to look closer at one of the Pokemon who got readjusted during the most recent update. But first, as I'm sure you know, I do that again. As I'm sure you know, they had issues with the server yesterday. If your Pokemon was burned or paralyzed, and you tried to attack with them, the game crashed, you had to log out or force quit, log back in. It made playing extremely difficult. I know a lot of people lost a lot of ranking because they kept getting knocked out of the game and either couldn't get back in or the game just crashed and they quit because it was unplayable. They went ahead and fixed that last night, which is pretty quick. I mean, it did take all day in America, but it was the same day that it was fixed. And they gave 50 coins or 50 gems to everybody who was playing or had the game installed yesterday. There you go. Happy with that. After my daily missions and such, I'm up to 236 coins. I'm not opening any boosters because I'm going to tease a video that I'm going to put together. But I've seen a glimpse of Kyogre, and let me tell you, I've seen his wheel. I've seen the new buffed up Kyogre, and I think he's a player. I'm teasing a future episode because this is not about Kyogre. This is about Empoleon. So if we go in here and look at Empoleon, he recently got a buff. I actually have mine leveled up to 4, as you can see. He starts off with a Miss 4, which when you get him to level 5, removes the Miss. I really like Pokemon who have no Miss. And if you're an EX Pokemon with no Miss, I like you even better. So he's got Ice Beam, which is a 20 slice of his wheel. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ice Beam, 70, which is a 20 slice of his wheel. I froze there for a second. He's got a 32 gold, okay, and then a 32 base Hydro Pump. And he has an 8 base dodge. I've actually leveled up my dodge. And you may wonder why I've leveled up his dodge, and it's because the way I'm using Empoleon is I'm using him on my backline defense. He's not an attacker on my team. Therefore, I'm not going to want to be attacking with him very often. And if I can avoid it, I want to avoid it. I want him playing defense. And part of a good defense is not getting knocked out. How do you make sure you don't get knocked out? By rolling a dodge. That is why. Now, if he does get status affected, his miss slice is going to be 12 instead of 8. But I'm willing to take that chance because the number of times he's going to be status affected is going to be far fewer than the number of times I'm going to need him to not be knocked out. And that's my reasoning behind it. With that said, with his Ice Beam 70, if the Pokemon is knocked out, the battle opponent becomes frozen. I like that. I mean, it is his smallest attack, size-wise, wheel size-wise. But I like the idea of if a defender is crashing down on my goal, I've got Empoleon sitting back there. Their attacker, let's just say it's a Moltres, let's just say it's a Zapdos, let's say it's a Sceptile. They come crashing down, rolling their 100 plus. I roll a measly little 70. All of a sudden they're frozen. That's going to give me time to probably get a Pokemon back out of the PC or off my bench. And it's also going to give me time to change my offense and maybe backtrack a little bit if I need to. It's a great stall, and it's not going to happen a lot. And the reason why I didn't power that up is because it's not going to happen a lot. I don't want to put my levels into something that I don't really want to happen anyways. Like, I don't want to lose the battle. So therefore, I don't want to put my additional pie slices into there. 32s are solid gold. And for chain levels, I would actually chain level the 30 portion of the wheel first. He's going to be able to counter Mew better. And with the Manaphy buff, if you run a Manaphy, 70 to 90, 91 doesn't win you that many more battles than 90 would. Yeah, it'll probably beat Sceptile, a base level Sceptile. But again, that's so situational. You've got the 90, which is going to become a 110, which is another fairly common number. Moltres comes to mind. I'm trying to think of what else. You know, Groudon is a 110. And I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head that's a 110. I just feel like the 31, I don't know. He's on my back line. Runners, that's where I would go. And that's my reasoning behind it. Whether it's sound and solid, that's for you to decide. I probably wouldn't fault you if you put it in the 90 to take care of some of the bigger hitters. I definitely wouldn't put it in the 70 just to make it 91 with the Manaphy buff. That is my personal opinion. Oh, and another reason for bumping 30 to 31 is with a Manaphy buff, it becomes 50 to 51. And 50 is a really common number in the game. So it would take, you know, it still beats Mew. It would take 3 Greninja rolls, if I'm not mistaken, to best 51. Probably only take 3, even if Greninja was or not, if it didn't have the 1 level. But there are numerous 50s. I can't think of them all off the top of my head. A lot of runners, like we'll go with Pupitar is a 50. Anyway, that's where I would go with my first chain level, is to Aqua Jet. And I have 2 green EX cubes that I need to put somewhere, and that's a front runner. So here we go. This is a deck I've created, and it's pretty similar to a deck that I was already running with the Virizion, the Sceptile, the 2 Greninjas, the Manaphy, and the Magikarp Gyarados. Oh good, we get to go against a partial Dio deck. But I took out the Magikarp Gyarados in lieu of Empoleon because of his ability of diving entry, which means he can come out on the board similar to Heatran without the attack element of Heatran. But if you look, you can see that Empoleon can come to any of those green spaces when entering the field, which sets up some nice surround kills. It works really well with this deck because, as you see, when I open Greninja up to the corner, I want to get Manaphy out as quickly as possible. And by doing that, I can now drop Manaphy over here, and he is protected from someone rushing up to the goal and trying to take over my entry point. Here's what I'm talking about with the Deoxys decks. They're still there. 2 turns and he's already plating up, which is fine. I'm running Dark Energy because I firmly believe Deoxys decks are not dead. One thing, if a Deoxys deck goes first, one thing I can absolutely see them doing would be plate on turn 1, run Dio A right there, and he wants to knock out my poor Greninja. Darn it. I'm actually going to bring Virizion over here. So what he's going to want to do is he brings Deoxys A there, brings Deoxys Speed back here, down here, wherever, and it's the exact same thing that you had before. So this guy's hyper aggressive. That was a beautiful spin for me because he just lost his Moltres. I mean, he can respin if he wants, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Bye-bye. So just to finish what I was saying, you're going to have Deoxys Speed here, you're going to have Deoxys A here, and they're plated. That's pretty much the same setup you had before. Only now the Deoxys A is going to get weight 3, which is really just weight 1 turn moving forward. But that is why I like this deck so much, is because I can Dark Energy, and now he can't switch around his Deoxys, and they become a lot more susceptible to it being attacked and being knocked out. Ooh, that's unfortunate. This guy is hyper aggressive. I don't have many scenarios where I lose this battle, so I was going to take it. I'm trying to stop the onslaught of this guy, who's just, I want to say, with the exception of turn 1, his first 3 turns, he's attacked. I don't have any moves that I can make here, so we don't want to do that. I don't want to get burned into a surround kill. And there we go. Goodbye, Deoxys Speed. I imagine he's going to attack with Flareon. I mean, not Flareon. Heatran again. Okay. I am going to go ahead and press forward here. I don't like my Virizion matchup, quite honestly, because he's not going to roll a 110. One Greninja. Rolling a miss was not at all what I had in mind there. Put some pressure here. The reason why I'm pressing forward here is, yeah, Heatran's kind of threatening my goal. I do have goal block. Actually, I'm going to move him out of my way. And then, does he have a goal block? He does not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double chance Virizion. And if I get the oh, whoops. I lost my Greninja, so he's going to be able to, that was a bummer. So he's going to be able to do that. But Grass Knot knocks him out. Okay. No, I'm actually good with that, because he's going to get knocked off the field, and he doesn't have goal block, so now he's going to be scrambling to counter back and attack me with Deoxys Normal. Just fine. Nope, I'm good. So now he has to attack me with Deoxys Normal, and as long as I don't get knocked out, I win. And this is the difference in the Deoxys, and the way it really should have been, and he rolls a miss. So that's perfect. The way it should have been from the beginning is when Deoxys gets Dimensional Slip, he in essence misses a turn, which is really how it should have been to begin with. There's no reason why he should have been able to go to the bench and then come right back out immediately following that. So there we go. Nice little victory. I am going to jump into one more. We did not really get to showcase Empoleon a whole lot there. Although we did get to showcase the diving entry, the nice surround kill there. But other than that, he got knocked out pretty quick. Even with the Manaphy buff. It happens, you know, when I'm filming these live games, and I know they're recorded for you, but I'm actually voicing as I'm in the game. I can't predict what my opponents are going to do. The best that I can do is have the Pokemon that I want to highlight in the game, and then put him in situations, or when I get into situations where he's useful, utilizing him. I actually like Sceptile versus Mew here as a better matchup. So going back to the 50, so Mew is 50. I'm going to have to bring Greninja to cover that. Ho-Oh has a 50. I believe Zapdos has a 50. All reasons why I would put my chain level into the 30 portion of Empoleon. And if I decide that I'm going to give him the buff, then that's where it will be. Now I could take the chance of, I could have moved Greninja over to my goal and seen if he would take the Grovyle down to attack Manaphy. The problem is he has a decent shot of knocking Manaphy out. Therefore, and again, another super hyper aggressive. And that's not going to work out for us. But quite honestly, I don't think he can do that again. So we are going to max revive. And bring him right back out. And now I have more win conditions. If I roll my 140, or if I roll my 40 and he gets the double 100, he gets knocked out. If I roll if he only rolls his white one time and I roll my 101, that's a win condition. If I roll purple into his white, that's a win condition. If I roll a miss, that sucks. So Sceptile has decided, Grovyle / Sceptile has just decided he's invincible at the moment and going to attack everything in sight without a care in the world. Kind of crazy. Is Rayquaza gonna do anything? Okay. Well, in that case, I will just move to your goal and make you use your goal block plate with Rayquaza. That works for me. And I think my next best play is going to be, I'm actually going to slide you over one. I'll slide Sceptile over. I probably should have double chanced this, quite honestly. That, wow. Guess if I have time to think, I should double chance this. I probably should double chance it instead of attacking anyways. $150 is rather impressive. Alright. I'm about tired of this Speed Deoxys. Yeah. And here I am saying, I don't want to use Empoleon as an attacker, and my Empoleon was all the way on their back line. And then when I do need him to attack, he does roll the dodge, but whatever. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and double chance this. I want to get rid of this so I can free up my Greninja on the outside. And of course, sometimes you just have to put a plate on where the game says you don't really want something. You know, it's kind of the, when you do the X attack, you're going to roll the blue or the, or your purple or a miss. You could always do that. So now we're going to move back forward. Empoleon is actually a nice counter to Mew. I probably should not have moved up there. I maybe should have brought... maybe should have brought him over this way. But... there we go. And I do have Gold Block, so I will bring Empoleon back down with my Gold Block. Here. And now I will take my Greninja and start pressing forward with Greninja. That's assuming that Greninja number 2 over here can continue to hold down his position. My guess is he'd probably move Ho-Oh over here to Rayquaza's side. And then again, I don't know why I would think he'd do anything other than continue to attack. There we go. Good job. I'm actually going to just threaten his entry points here. Speed Deoxys doesn't concern me as an attacker, especially with Manaphy doing 42 damage. He easily counters Speed Deoxys. Come on, nice, perfect. He's only going to be able to get one of his Pokemon. I'm going to seal off that lane. My guess is he'll bring Speed Deoxys right next to his Rayquaza, and then I'm going to... okay. Why would I think otherwise? Of course he's going to bring out his Sceptile and attack. Crazy me. Like I haven't been paying attention for the last 10 minutes of this game. He's going to attack every opportunity. I'm going to end my turn there. He's going to bring Sceptile back here and attack with Sceptile. No, of course. Dodge, perfect. That worked out better than I could have imagined and exactly how I wanted. There we go. 2 victories. Got to see a little bit more of Empoleon in action. He didn't freeze anybody, but like I said in the preview, is he going to get one more attack in with Sceptile? Of course. How fitting, right? But I did not get to showcase Empoleon freezing anybody. But like I said, it's the smallest piece of his attack wheel, and I don't want to use him and rely on that attack. And I definitely don't want him getting knocked out. Super happy with that. We're pressing close to 2,800 in league rating and 2,300 in monthly rating. You've got a couple of more days, today and 2 more days, to get your monthly rating, this right here, your monthly rating up for booster tickets at the end of the month. I'm gonna be hard pressed to make 30 boosters this month. I think I'm really close to the 2,000 ranking. And I have to be top 1,200. That's a lot of climbing. Gonna have to put together a consecutive win streak of some significance in order to reach that. I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging. We will check out this locked booster. Bagon. I feel like maybe I got him yesterday too. Trapinch and a rare metal R. So the rare metal R is cool, but the other two I'm very meh about. That's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know, what do you think of Empoleon? Do you think he's worthwhile to run in a deck? He's great in a water deck, an all-water deck. There's no doubt about that. But do you think he can be used in a normal deck, a non-water deck? Have you found a reason to use him? Do you even have him? And are you buying sextuple pack or quad packs in order to try to get him? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you've seen here today. And until next time.